Well, Maria, that's obvious. I know I need to book more sales calls, but how do I do that? Hello everyone, welcome to another video with Maria Went. Today I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do if you want to get more high-paying clients, but you only have a few followers on Instagram, couple people liking your Facebook page, essentially if you have a small audience, right? So you want to make a good living, but you're still working at building up your following, this video is for you. If you're new here, my name is Maria Went, and I teach female entrepreneurs how to get more clients online. So here on this channel, we talk about online marketing, how to make more money online, how to get more clients, essentially everything that you need in order to build your system to get consistent clients. If you want to learn more about getting more clients online, just hit the subscribe button and I'll share with you everything that I know. Let's go ahead and get into today's video. One thing that I'm very good at is getting high-end clients, high-ticket clients. And I'm also very good at teaching my clients how to get high-end packages sold, right? So that's sort of my zone of genius, or the area that it's a strength of mine, right? And so in this video, I'm going to teach you everything that I know about consistently booking high-end clients, even if you have a very small audience. So the first thing you're gonna do is answer these 4 crucial questions. And these 4 questions are the foundations of successfully and consistently selling high-ticket clients, even if you have a small audience. So let's go right ahead and go into these questions. I recommend taking a pen out, taking a notebook paper out, and just jotting these down. The first is, what do I want to help people with? Right, so you don't have to have the perfect fancy offer all clearly figured out, but the first thing that you do need to do is ask yourself, okay, what do I want to help people with? Right, that's question number 1. Question number 2 is, who specifically do I want to help? Again, let's not get too hung up on our niche, but let's get some idea of the kind of people we would like to help. The third question that you need to answer is, how much do I want to charge? Now, when it comes to pricing, what I recommend that you do is follow this formula, right? So step 1 is to say, okay, you know what? When it comes to pricing, that's an exchange between you and your client, right? So you have to feel good about it and your client has to feel good about it. But you can run it through this rough calculator to get some idea of what you should be charging, right? So here's that rough calculator. It's, first and foremost, how much do I want to get paid per hour? That's step 1. Step number 2 of the rough calculator to figure out your pricing is to say, okay, how many hours am I anticipating on spending on my average client? That could be 20 hours per client, right? And then step 3 is to multiply those 2 numbers. So let's say you want to get paid $100 an hour and you usually spend about 20 hours per client over a 3-month period. You could say, okay, you know what? $100 an hour times 20 hours is obviously $2,000. So how do I feel about that number? So the 4th step is to analyze your knee-jerk reaction to that number, right? So you say, okay, you know what? I want to get paid $100 an hour. It's going to take me about 20 hours per client, which gives me $2,000. How do I feel about that price, right? So to circle back to what we're doing here, that's the 3rd thing that you need to get clear on as the foundations of selling a high-ticket package. You need to ask yourself, okay, how much do I want to charge? And the 4th and final thing that you need to answer as part of step 1 is you need to answer, where are my potential clients spending their time online? And you would be surprised at the number of people that just sort of guess and hope that they know where their ideal clients are spending their time online. What I recommend you do is do some market research and really get solid on where your ideal clients are spending their time online. So the first thing you need to do when you're wanting to sell high-ticket clients to a small audience is get clear on those 4 foundational questions. The second thing that you need to do is you need to shift your mindset, because likely you have a lot of resistance, a lot of hangups, a lot of confidence issues around selling high-ticket packages, and I want you to know that that is normal. It's okay to feel scared, to feel overwhelmed, to feel like you don't know what it is you're doing. That's normal, right? And then the other thing that's probably normal is it's probably normal for you to say, oh my gosh, I have to include all these things in my package, or I don't have enough experience, so how am I going to sell a high ticket? Or how do I know for sure that people are going to pay me that $2,000 or $2,500 or $3,000 or $10,000 or $20,000, right? Whatever high ticket is to you, there's probably a lot of hangups around that. Here's what I want you to think about. If you're selling high ticket, likely your ideal clients are 6 and 7 figure business owners, right? Not for everyone, but for most people, right? And so here's what I want you to know. A business owner who makes 6 or 7 figures, right? Both myself and mentors of mine, when we invest in anything, we're not obsessed with the price point and we're not obsessed with what's included. We care about the end result or the problem that you're solving for us. So to give you an example, I pay my assistant quite a bit of money per month, but I'm not focused on that. My assistant frees me up so that I have time to make more money in my business. I'm doing my income generating activities. I'm focused on the things in my business that actually matter. So let's say I pay my assistant, and we'll use, just a number on it, for example. Let's say I pay my assistant $2,000 a month, but with the time that she frees up, I make an extra $15,000 a month. You can see how that's a good trade for me, right? I'm paying $2,000, but I'm making $15,000. And I want you to know that that is how business owners make decisions, right? They're not like, oh my gosh, what's included for the $2,000? And oh my gosh, that's so much money. They're thinking, okay, you know what? This is going to free me up to make this much additional income. So that's a worthwhile trade for me. So I want you to shift your mindset around high ticket sales, because likely you're obsessed with the, oh my gosh, it's so expensive, and how am I going to market myself to that client? And you're getting hung up on all the wrong things. When what you really need to be remembering and shifting your mindset around is understanding that when business owners make decisions, they don't really care about the price point and they don't really care about what's included. They want to see and have an understanding and feel clear on the problem that you're solving for them. The third thing that you need to do if you want to sell high ticket packages consistently to a small audience is you need to book more calls. Likely you're not booking anywhere near enough phone calls. And what I want you to know is that the average person needs to book 10 sales calls in order to get one client. So if you're only booking 4 sales calls a month and you're not getting clients, well, that makes sense because you haven't booked enough phone calls. And so what we're going to do is we're actually going to transition. I'm going to be walking you through a little presentation that I've created. It's going to be on my computer. So I'm going to be walking you through a couple things that you need to know when it comes to booking more sales calls. Because I'm sure as soon as you hear book more sales calls, you're thinking to yourself, well, Maria, that's obvious. I know I need to book more sales calls, but how do I do that? So it's normal. I'm going to walk you through exactly what you need to do in order to book more calls. Okay, so I'm actually really excited to show you this. This is a sneak peek of my program, Get More Clients, where I teach you how to build a system that you love to get organic clients. So you're getting a little sneak peek here. Typically, you could only see this if you're a client of mine, but I figured it'd be very nice for you to kind of get a sneak peek of what it's like to be in my program, but also teach you how you can book more sales calls. So let's go right into it. Essentially, the way you book sales calls is through income generating activities. There are things in your business that are directly tied to you making money, right? And so what I'm going to teach you is how do we use our income generating activities to book more sales calls. So I hope you're ready to just roll up your sleeves and follow along. I'm going to go very slowly. If you need to pause me, and I recommend that you take a lot of notes. Let's go ahead and go into it. All right, so I'm going to skip forward. There are 3 kinds of income generating activities, right? There are your powerful activities, your supplementary activities, and your ongoing activities. So we're going to go into each one of these and talk about why these are directly related to you booking more sales calls. Here are some examples of powerful activities, right? A powerful activity is any activity that is leveraging your own audience. Again, no matter how small. So this could be a Facebook post, a Facebook Live, posting to your Facebook group, your Facebook page, an Instagram post. You see the list here. What I want you to remember is that anytime that you're leveraging your own audience, that's a powerful income generating activity. And typically, a powerful activity has a 1-to-1 ratio. Now, what does that mean? Having a 1-to-1 ratio means that if you make a post to, let's just say, your Facebook profile, inviting someone to hop on the phone with you, you'll typically get one person taking you up on that. So it has a 1-to-1 ratio, right? Now let's go on to our supplementary activities. Now, a supplementary activity is any time you're leveraging someone else's audience. And the best example of that in our industry is using Facebook groups to get phone calls booked. So anytime that you post your invitation to hop on the phone, your free offer, anytime you post that to someone else's group, or you publish guest posts on someone else's blog, or you do an Instagram story takeover, anytime that you're leveraging someone else's audience, that is a supplementary income generating activity. And typically, a supplementary activity has a 5-to-1 ratio. What does that mean? That means that for every one call that you want to book, you need to do 5 supplementary activities. So if you want to get one call booked through Facebook groups, you need to post your invitation to hop on the phone 5 different times before you'll book one phone call. And likely, what happens for a lot of my clients before we start working together is they are just not posting either in the right groups or in the right quantity. So they think, oh, Facebook groups don't work for me. But in reality, they're just not doing it enough or in the right places. So again, everyone's numbers are a little different, but typically a supplementary activity has a 5-to-1 ratio. Finally, we have our ongoing activities. And the way I want you to think about your ongoing income generating activities are like a long-term financial investment. We're not going to see a payout right now, but when we do, it's going to be wonderful. So that could be things like building relationships with people online, answering questions, providing value for free, setting up a referral network. Things like that are your ongoing activities. You're not going to see results from them right away, but when you do, it'll be wonderful. And typically, an ongoing activity has a 10-to-1 ratio. So what that means is that if you have a conversation with 10 different people, it'll feel natural to offer a discovery call to one of those 10 people. So typically, an ongoing activity has a 10-to-1 ratio. Okay, so now we've explained your powerful, your supplementary, and your ongoing activities. The final step in this presentation is for me to walk you through what you need to do in order to calculate your numbers so you know how many activities you need to do in order to hit your client goal. So we're going to run through that together. Okay, so now we're going to run the numbers together, and I'm going to go really slowly so that you can follow along, right? So let's say you want to get 5 phone calls booked this week. Let's say that's your goal, right? And let's say that you decide that 3 of your phone calls are going to be booked via supplementary activities, right? So you say, okay, of the 5 phone calls I want to get booked, 3 of them are going to be booked using the supplementary activity, right? And then maybe I want to get 1 phone call booked via powerful activities and 1 phone call booked via ongoing activities. Now we're going to run the numbers together. So if you want to get 3 phone calls booked, maybe let's just say posting through Facebook groups, right? That's an example of a supplementary activity. Okay, so let's say you want to get 3 phone calls booked via supplementary activities. You're going to multiply 3 times 5, right? Because as we discussed earlier, supplementary activities have a ratio of 5-to-1. What that means is that you have to do 5 activities for every 1 call. So if we want to get 3 calls booked, we multiply 3 by 5 to get 15. So if you decided the income generating activity that you are going to do is posting to Facebook groups, you would need to post to 15 Facebook groups throughout the week in order to get 3 phone calls booked. Right? That's the first one. Then let's say we wanted to get one of our 5 calls booked via powerful activities. And let's say we decide that our powerful activity is going to be posting to our Facebook profile. We know that because powerful activities have a 1-to-1 ratio, I would need to post to Facebook profile 1 time in order to hit my goal, right? So maybe I make one of my goals this week to be to post to my Facebook profile once in order to get 1 phone call booked via my Facebook profile. And then finally, we're going to go on to our income generating activity that is ongoing, our ongoing activities. And we're going to say, okay, you know what? I would like to get 1 phone call booked via ongoing activities. And that is a 10-to-1 ratio. So let's say we decided our ongoing activity was talking to people. I would need to talk to 10 people in order for it to feel natural to invite one of them for a discovery call. So we're going to multiply 10 times 1, right? Our goal call is 1, which is going to get us 10, right? So if we're making a list of our homework for this week in order to get 5 phone calls booked, we're going to post to 15 groups. We're going to post to our profile once, and we're going to do 10 conversations with people. Now, again, you've seen the list of the powerful income generating activities, supplementary income generating activities, and the ongoing income generating activities. So you get to pick and choose which activities you want to do for your business. But if you want to know the numbers behind figuring out what you need to do in order to book more sales calls, that's what we talked about in this presentation. Hopefully it's helpful. What I want you to do in the comments below is I want you to comment the amount of calls you want to get and the income generating activities that you think you're going to do, and ask me if you have any questions, because I'm here to answer any questions you have. So hopefully that's making sense. Hopefully you understood that presentation. If you guys have any questions about this, I want you to leave it in the comments below, right there in the comments. Ask me questions. Right now, I only have around 200 YouTube subscribers, so we're still starting out. And what that means is that I get really excited when I see a question on YouTube. So if you have questions, I get to them really quickly, and it's a way for you to get some customized personal advice that you might not get in my Facebook group, for example, which has over 10,000 people in it. So leave a comment if you've got any questions, and then what I want you to do is I want you to also, in the comments, I want you to comment the number of calls that you need to get per week. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Now, if you want more information on booking sales calls, I've actually created a guide on my website. It's totally free, and it's going to walk you through 250 Facebook groups that you can promote in. So if you would like to get the list of 250 groups that you can promote in, just click the link below, scroll to the bottom of that page, and there'll be a little area for you to enter your information to get that free guide, which is the list of 250 groups you can promote in. It's my assistant. I joke that it's our love child. So it's a wonderful resource, and it will really help you book more sales calls, which in turn is, of course, going to help you make more money and book more high-ticket clients. Thank you guys again for watching, and